What's up, Ravens fans? I'm Cassie Calvert, joined by Cliff Brown. We're taking your questions on this week's episode of Ravens Mailbag. Let's dive right in. All right, first up, we have Garrett Sprints, who asked, which rookie in this class are you most excited for this season, and which should we temper our expectations for?
Well, as far as being excited, I'll go with the obvious, Marquise Hollywood Brown, lights, camera, action, right? I mean, we're all excited to see how dynamic this guy might be able to be in the Ravens offense. I mean, the big play factor is something that would bring so much to an offense. I already think is going to be great at running the football. Imagine if he brings that element. Tempering expectations, that's a very good question. Maybe Ben Powers, the offensive guard, only because I think a lot of people maybe are expecting like Orlando Brown, his college teammate, to make a quick transition. I think it's possible, but if he doesn't, it's okay. Much like Orlando, who didn't start till later in his rookie season, if Powers, as long as he gradually gets better and better, I think eventually he'll help the Ravens a lot. So that would be my answer to those two questions.
I like that. I'm going to go with two different guys. My guy I'm most excited about to see, Jalen Ferguson. I'm ready for him to hit the field. The Ravens lost about 17 of their sacks from last season with the departures of Terrell Suggs, Adarius Smith, among others. So I'm looking to see this rookie get on the field and get to the quarterback. They call him Sack Daddy, the NCAA career leader in sacks from his college season, taking Terrell Suggs' record there. I'm excited to see this guy become a Raven, get on the field, hopefully make an impact right away his rookie year, and get after that quarterback. As far as tempering expectations, I'm looking at Dalen Mack. He's kind of coming in at a group where there's a lot of talent there. He's got Brandon Williams, Michael Pierce ahead of him on the roster. No dig to him. I think he's a very talented guy, but just there's going to be a lot of competition in that group, and it's going to be a little harder for him to see the field right away. All right, moving on to the next question. We've got Jaleel Rawls, and he wants to know, do you think Boykin and Brown can complement each other? And if so, can that be a future duo? I love this question. I'm really excited about this pair getting on the field. Eric DeCosta said they wanted to put playmakers around Lamar Jackson. With the two of them, they have absolutely done that. Very different skill sets. Like you mentioned before, Brown is that down the field, big play kind of wide receiver there. And then you have the very physical, big, tall. We saw him this weekend on practice. He's huge. Miles Boykin, he can get there in coverage, pull those balls down in tight coverage, which is a huge asset for the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I definitely think they can work together. In fact, I love the contrast between the two. As you mentioned, Boykin's size, I was really impressed watching. Not only is he has size, but he's agile. And I think for Lamar, having a target like that for any quarterback is always kind of a comfort level. And if they can get a quick chemistry, those two, I think, could really be the type of receiver-quarterback combination that makes this offense go.
Our third and final question from Mike Midge 458 is, our cornerback position overcrowded?
Mitch, having too many quarters is like having too much money. No such thing. Think about the Ravens a few years ago when Jimmy Smith, whenever he would get hurt, it seemed like the defense had a really hard time making up for his absence. Since then, they brought in guys like Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Carr, Tavon Young, and now, yes, it is probably the Ravens' deepest position, but you never have too many quarters. We all know injuries can be a problem. We also know the way teams pass the ball now, usually you have three corners on the field. So having that depth, I like them drafting Amon Marshall, a young guy they can bring along. No, you can't have too many corners, just like you can't have too much money.
I love it. I think Eric DeCosta has said that a few times at press conferences this year. That's going to do it for us for this week's edition of Ravens Mailbag. We'll see you guys again next week.